everything changes. Hey, welcome everybody. Today is Tuesday, September 22nd, 2020, and the title of this video, probably a little scary, but I am in an overwhelmed state of mind and an overwhelming situation here. Those of you that are new to this channel or don't follow me too closely, you may not know, but I am moving out of this house into a larger house to run the business and the operation. And we have a ton of work to do, and somehow it crept up on me really fast. And so the point of this video is that a lot of us have a lot of stressful situations and overwhelming situations. It may not be that you're moving, you may just have a transition from work to home. Maybe you're moving back to going back to work at the office after the pandemic. Maybe there's remodeling going on at your house. Maybe you have new children, new babies some of you have had, or maybe a mother-in-law has moved in with you. There's always these overwhelming situations, and I find myself in one of these that I haven't been in a long time. I've pretty much been able to just sit back and relax and run the business. Excuse me while I adjust my lighting here. I just realized it's dark. Just run my business kind of on autopilot and casual and help you guys out and just not really worry about what's going on around the house, because for a long time the house was just overwhelming me with inventory and all this other stuff. But I didn't really have to worry about it. But when time came that we were moving and I have to sell this house, it's game time, it's go. So I'll give you just a little quick breakdown, and then I want to give you the solution to overwhelming problems within your life for your business, or if it's anything else. It could just be everyday life things as opposed to actually, the business side of things. But for a lot of us, you can't let the business overwhelm you. So here's what we have going on in the next 2.5/3 weeks. Okay, so like I said, today is September 22nd, it's Tuesday. My house officially has to go up for sale 2 weeks from Friday, which puts us somewhere around like the 8th or 9th of October. We've got to be listed for sale per the contract on the purchase of my new house. So that only gives us 2 weeks and a couple days. And we have to finish clearing out about 4 or 5 pallets of clothing from our huge purchase that we're able to clear out about 1 a day. So that's a few days worth of work. We have to clear out all of that that's left and be done. We then have to clear out what is our inventory office room. It's a normal like 15 by 14 room, a normal sized bedroom where we have quite a few boxes and bins of inventory. We have a printer, we have a couple bookshelves that we need that have, unlisted and listed items. We need to go through and get rid of what's junk, donate what we can donate, list what we can list, and get it in the garage. Basically get that room empty and get rid of the 2 bookshelves because they're junk, we're not keeping them. And then that room, along with the hallway outside of that room and leading into the other guest room, which is our official guest room right now, that's got a bed and a dress or a table and a exercise bike, elliptical in it. Those rooms have to be everything brought out here into the middle of the floor for a carpet guy to install new carpet. We're having the carpet replaced in order to sell the house. So all of that has to get done in the next 2 weeks because they're going to be back on that last thing to do the carpet so it doesn't get messed up, of course. All while that's going on, my dad and another contractor that I have are working on the house as it is. They're repairing baseboard and doing touch-up paint and repairing floors and grout and toilets and all the small things. They replaced a bunch of stuff in the kitchen, faucet, all this stuff to get the house ready to sell. And so they're in the house while all the rest of this work is going on that we're doing on the business. I've still got to make YouTube videos for you guys. I still got to make content. I got to answer questions, do store reviews, all the normal things that I would typically be doing on top of all this. I have a guy outside repairing the concrete in the front of my house. The walkway got some roots under it, broke up all the concrete. So he's going to be redoing the concrete there to make it safe for people to walk who come see the house. And because the new owner is going to want a nice walkway out to the driveway. So that's being done. And then sometime in about a week and a half, right before the carpet goes in, the whole outside of the house is going to get pressure washed and cleaned and the yard cleaned up and new grass put down and mulch and all this outside landscaping stuff to get the house ready, front and back, along with the pool being pressure washed, the pool deck, the lanai, the cage, everything getting done. Overwhelmed over all of that by the time we get to that end day, that Wednesday or Thursday, October 6th, 7th, 8th, whatever it is on your calendar, all this stuff should be done, and then we have to stage this house. I've got like 3 or 4 pieces of furniture in here that need to sell because they're not gonna be here, or I'm gonna have to do something with them. I have to make sure, once all the inventory is cleared out, we've sold it all, or we've gotten it into the garage, the house is set up like a house, like a normal house, normal table that I'm at, normal couch, all that stuff. So it looks like people live here and people can come through and see it. And then whatever I've got out in the garage and inventory and bins, I've got to kind of figure out a way to make it look nice so that people can look into the garage, or my realtor is just gonna have to tell them, hey, look, the house is all cool, everything looks nice, don't mind the garage, it'll be empty when you buy the house. Currently there's a car in there, ignore the car and ignore the 100 bins of inventory and the racks and the shelves. They run a business out of this house. So that's probably what it's gonna end up happening, because I really don't wanna get a storage unit if I don't have to right now. With all that said, let's say people come through here and it's cool, and they buy the house, or they make an offer, or whatever happens. Let's just say sometime these houses are flying around here, and I have one of the only houses with a pool and hot tub. So I don't expect an October 8th or 9th house to last into December. Or into November. I don't expect us to get to November and this house still be for sale. So let's just say we close the first week of November, 30 days, or mid-November, before Thanksgiving they want to close. Okay, they might want to move by the holidays. My new house isn't going to be finished until the middle of January, if we're lucky. I think it'll be done then. So it's gonna be November, 2 months from now, when somebody moves into my house and I gotta get out. That's December, January, 60 days I have nowhere to live. I will be the homeless rock star for 2 months. And then I've got all my stuff, this whole house of furniture and all that inventory in the garage that'll be there. What are we gonna do? Well, then I'm gonna be forced to get at least 1, maybe 2 storage units, who knows? I don't really have anywhere else to put it. My warehouse could go there, but I really don't want my stuff in the warehouse, so it would have to go to a storage unit. And then we need somewhere to live, either a 60-day Airbnb or a month-to-month rental. My friend Dave, Drive Time with Dave, actually has a beach cottage. It's only like 900 square feet, 2-bedroom, but he's offered that to us. It's an hour and 10 minutes south of here, and with the 2 dogs, it's kind of rough, because again, we have 2 dogs, which is a whole nother stress point in itself. The dogs being here while the carpet's getting done, and then when the carpet's done, people seeing my house with 2 dogs, we're gonna have to toss them in the SUV and drive off so people can see. It's a nightmare, long story short, at least until we get moved. Once we get moved, it's gonna be amazing. So that's what's on my plate, and that's why I'm overwhelmed. Let's talk about how I'm handling it and how you should handle overwhelming situations as well. Okay, so one thing that I always do is make to-do lists. You guys know I like to make lists, what I have to get done for the day, what I have to get done by tomorrow. So I'm doing the same thing for a 3-week time frame. I've made a whole list of everything we have to do, like clean out the office, donate trash list, get it all cleared out, get those bookshelves thrown away and empty so the carpet guy can get in there and do the carpet, or at least get as much into the walk-in closet as possible so that there's nothing in there that, day of carpet replacement, we can just walk in, move a few things out, and he's on his way. How long is that gonna take? With me and Kate and maybe my brother helping, 2 or 3 hours, maybe 3, 4 hours. Mark that down, 4 hours. Always overestimate what you have to do. Boom. What day does that make sense to do? So then I'll schedule that into a day. So I've got a little chart, and I use spreadsheets. Everybody knows I like Google Sheets. So I put Google Sheets. Tomorrow is Wednesday the 23rd, Thursday the 24th, Friday the 25th, Saturday the 26th, and so on. And then I write down, let's get started at 8 a.m. Let's get started at 8:30, at 9, at whatever it is. And then boom, all the hours down. Let's block that off for said task. We have to finish all these pallets. So if I budget 4 hours every single day for these pallets, I know right away those 4 hours are gone. How much time do I have left to do stuff? I also have to budget time for 3 or 4 hours for me to make YouTube content, respond to emails, respond to questions, eBay, doing all the listings, selling the boxes, wholesale shipping, taking them down to UPS, all that stuff, budget all that. Normal time, showers, eating, dog time, Kate time, all this stuff, 3, 4 hours. you gotta kind of build this everyday task, and it's gonna be overwhelming until you mark these tasks off. You know, an hour every day to go over the house with my dad and the construction and contractor guys to make sure I can walk through the house and look at what they've done, make sure it's good, make sure X is checked off. So this is all stuff that I'm doing every single day, and I'm making a list of this is what we have left. I have a huge list of everything to get done, and then kind of marking what day it is and how many hours. And that's just how an overwhelming situation can get made less stressful and less overwhelming, because if you know, this is what I got to finish today. And then if you don't finish something, you've got to move it into another section. But at least you'll know how many days you have free hours and time. The other thing that you have to get used to is being in a mindset when something like this comes up where the next 3 weeks is going to suck. That's pretty much all I can say. And I might make that my title. The next 3 weeks is going to suck. Maybe I'll make that the title, right? Just know it, and know that once you get past it, and that once it's all done, you know, once everything's empty in my house and the carpet's replaced and outside's all fixed and people are coming through the house and somebody finally agrees to buy it, it's done. We're over. We're done. It's just a matter of moving our stuff into a truck and driving it to a storage unit and, you know, setting up shop at somewhere else while we live for 2 months until we're able to move. Now, what we are going to try to do is ask the new buyer, instead of doing a 30-day close, if they could do a 60-day or even maybe a 90-day, because any little bit will help. If we can get an extra month where, you know, maybe they don't have to move right away and they can let us stay here, maybe I can offer to rent it back from them, you know, pay the mortgage and pay them a little extra or something. That would be a pretty big help. Obviously, it would be cheaper just to go to the beach cottage that Dave owns, but it's kind of far away and I don't know that area very well. It's down by the beaches. I just tend not to go there that often, but you know, we would be stuck in that house with 2 dogs and who even knows. But you know, I can pack a backpack, put the iPad, put the computer, put all the chargers, all the electronics, my microphones, the one I'm wearing, you know, my phone, my tripods. I can put the light kits that I have here. All this stuff could be, you know, something I pack away in a backpack with the 2 lights and set up shop down there. The problem is all of our inventory would be in storage. So would I turn my eBay store off? What about wholesale? How would we handle all of that? So the ideal situation would be that we could rent this back for a month or 2 until our house is done. Now, my problem with that is what happens if we rent this back for a month or 2 and then our new house is delayed at all? Because it can happen, especially with the election and Christmas, you know, and Thanksgiving. The builders won't be working those weeks, I would imagine, or at least for a few days. So there could be a lot of delays getting our house done. And we're basing our estimate on other people in the neighborhood that have recently moved into houses that had their houses built. And all of them had 1-stories that were like 2,500 square feet. One of them had a 2-story that's about 2,800 square feet. And they told us the time frame, which would put us to the middle of January. Our house is a 2-story, so that would be the end of that time frame. And ours is bigger than the other person, so I'm a little concerned about that as well. We'll see. Nobody's built our house. Ours is pretty much the first one going up in the neighborhood of that model, so no idea how long it's going to take to build. With that said, fingers crossed, middle of January we'll be moved in. But yeah, so a lot of things I'm thinking about every day I wake up. I'm like, the next 3 weeks is going to suck. All right, overwhelming situations. Don't let them interfere with your business. Still get your work done. Still make sure that you are always, you know, making a list, checking it twice, and getting everything done that you have to do. If you don't have any of these overwhelming situations, you have no excuse. Start making a list of all the things in business you want to do, have to do, and could do to improve what you've got going on right now, because you never know when the time is going to arrive that you're going to be in a crazy head cut off of a chicken situation like I am and not going to have that free time. You know, I took it for granted that I was just able to kick back and sit on the couch or sit at the table or in bed and just work all day with nothing to do. And then all of a sudden I decided to buy a house and move, and things got nuts. So, and it happened really quick. I bought the house, I signed the contract in July, kicked back, I'm like, sweet, we'll get there when we get there. All of a sudden it was August 1st. I'm like, oh man, this is not good. We got some stuff to do. We had this bulk purchase, probably bad timing. And then all of a sudden it was September 1st and I was like, yep, we're in real trouble. And now that's been my life for the last couple weeks. Okay, so I figured I'd share that with you guys. I know it doesn't help you with your reselling too much, but maybe it'll help you with your scheduling and your time management and just figuring things out and not being overwhelmed. But my next 3 weeks is going to suck. Okay, that's where I'll leave you guys. Thanks so much. Give the video a thumbs up. Make sure you're subscribed, and I'll see everybody in the next one.